call this evening. So I want to just make this really quick. I am kind of piggybacking off of Monday night's Grit and Grind call and the vision board call that we had last week with the RA chat. So the old saying by Thomas Bertram Lance in the 1970s was, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? Like we've heard it say time and time again. We hear Courtney say it, other leaders say it, don't reinvent the wheel. But what if the wheel has some rough edges, tires need to be rotated, or it may be broken? After Monday night's call, I was sitting there listening, looking at Laurel's whiteboard, and thinking to myself, maybe that is why I am not where I wanted to be in my business. So I went ahead, started thinking, started talking, even mentioned this to Laurel earlier, but I think it's because of where I set up my workplace in my house. I thought I could do all the things, start my own home office. It's here in my bedroom, get my desk set up, get all the whiteboards, like everything and anything, get all the fun, cool pencil things you can find, hold your shit, and then you think that you got it made and you get the fancy planner and you can do it. I think I spent 40% of my time in here, and the majority of that was for purpose-only team goals, so I had peace and quiet, you guys. Like any other time I'm working my business, it is from my kitchen, doing dishes and cooking, or at the kitchen table in my living room. Like those are where I spend my time. And so I thought, well, maybe I should switch things up. I put my vision board up here in the office by my desk, and you guys, I didn't even look at it all year because I wasn't in here to sit at my desk and look at the vision board. Sitting here today thinking about this call and what I want to talk to you about, I realized I could cross off like 5 more things on that vision board that happened like this summer and fall that I didn't even know I did because I'm not in here next to this. So it's crazy to think, yeah, I know I had accomplished a lot more than I anticipated, which was mind-blowing to me. So we have had 2 calls, like I said, the vision board one that we are going to finish up on. There's a second call coming up for that. And with Laurel's call. And so I have notes. I got to follow so I stay on track. I still need a nickname for my squirrel brain, by the way. I'm waiting. So I cannot hit like number 1, my vision board and my goals, without number 2 being super organized, like staying on track and task. And so, like I said, I did the planner, I did the desk, I got me a chair because my old one broke. So I didn't work in here for 4 months because that broke and it took me 4 months to buy a chair. The whiteboards, I did all the things and nothing happened, right? Like my business stayed about where it was, slowly growing, which is fine. I know that's my vision for my business is a slow growth, so I maintain, I don't get overwhelmed, but that's basically as far as it got. Where am I at? Like when I'm in here on team calls, I still get interrupted by my kids because they can come in. My locks, I have locks on my doors, but you can lock them from the other side with just a butter knife. You can unlock them. So like being in a home office isn't exactly a home office if you're constantly getting up and called away to the kitchen to where everybody is to help them. And so I used to do my desk. My desk is more for like holding laundry and clothes than it is for actually working at, and it needs to change. And I think and so I thought, well, let's fix this then. So when you were talking about, Laura, like you have your vision board in your kitchen and you have your whiteboard in that area where you're always at, which is great because you're always seeing them. And when moments come to you, when you're doing like dishes, and we're always usually doing dishes and listening to some old team call that we missed or a podcast, we need to write it down. By the time I run down here to my bedroom, write it on the whiteboard, I forgot what it was. Like, everything needs to be more accessible, and instead of me moving into an office, I'm going to move my office to me, to where I am, and that may be what works for you, it may not, but I think to stay on task in our business, we need to make things more of a convenience for us. Like I think about where I work my cinch business at, and it's from my rocking chair in my living room. So I have my binder with my customer orders and a simple scratch piece of paper, but I stick them in there, and all my mohair is right there. So I actually do them. If I tried to like move it to a different room one year and just like walk to get my supplies and then take it to the living room, 1, they were scattered everywhere, and 2, I didn't want to do them. having it handy is what works for me. Keeping it separated from where I'm normally spending my time does not. And so I wanted to, put things out there where when other people come over too, they see my vision, they see my board, they see my stuff. And one, it reminds me that I have to work on it. And two, it'll bring up like a conversation piece to where, others will get more interested in it. Like I handed out samples tonight at wrestling practice because the gal who I handed them to has been in my house and seen my stash of Thrive in my pantry because the door is never not shut. Thank you, kids. So then I thought, I wonder why, when we were talking about visions and planning and thinking through the past year, why I wasn't as far. And I know it's because I don't spend the time on it I should, because I can't sit and focus in the office because I'm always getting called away, always getting sent to the kitchen for something. So, I did. I really tried, you guys, to work from here. And maybe it works for you. Maybe it doesn't, like I said. But I always seem to find myself in the kitchen. So I will be moving my stuff this year to the kitchen, to where it's going to be more convenient. It's going to be more at hand. And it's going to be more like in my face. It's going to be where I see it 24/7 to remind me to sit down and do my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, to sit down and do a follow-up with somebody whose name is right there on the wall. I don't have to go back flip through a bunch of pages in a notebook after I go through 5 notebooks to find out where it is, first of all. Like, just so much more simple, laid out in the open, high enough that my kids can't reach them with a marker. So then I thought, let's see, where am I at my notes? I also thought of like how I work my business in town. When I'm at the office, people come to me. Like, I think about it. The last 2 days, I've had more people in my office figuring out what to do while I'm gone and when I leave the job there, of how to like do what I'm doing, and volunteers and getting everything set up. So I have to do 5 bulletins and layouts and slideshows for them before I leave next week. And so I did 4 bulletins and things in the last 2 days, a budget report, renewed the budget, and a whole bunch of extra paperwork for them, along with more people in my office that have ever been in there than the last 3 years. It's been nuts, and yet I've been able to get all that work done because I didn't have to get up and go to them. They walked in, they came to me, and everything was there. And I feel like if I'm moving my office to where I'm always needed, it'll be there. I won't be coming back here, sitting back down and wondering where I was at. I'll just be like, oh yeah, stir, back to work. So that is what I am doing. That is like my little kind of where I'm at. Like, when we have a dream about our office, I know we all want, like, I wanted the cute office. I love when girls get on Zooms and they have in the background, they're like, pretty office and plants. First of all, my house has very poor facing windows. I killed an aloe vera plant. Like, those things are hard to kill. And I killed it in my house because my windows all face the wrong way. Yeah. So I'm like, I will never have that in this house because I don't have the space. So just put that out of sight, out of mind for now, and know that I don't need a home fancy office until I actually have a home business that requires me to spend more than an hour there. Like, when I have a bigger business to where I know I can sit in my office all day long because I'm home all day. I'm not going to town for a job and then coming home and working it while I should be also cooking and doing laundry and all things. Like, when I get there, I will get an office, but for now, I'm moving it to where I need to be to make it work for me. But it's still going on my Pinterest vision board, by the way. Fancy office. It's going to happen someday, right? Like, the big cool one. I really want a big ass desk. That's my goal. Might have to build a whole separate shed for it, including a wine fridge. Just saying. So that is, like, when I thought about it, it's just like making the switch, you guys, for moving your office to what works for you is kind of like what we did with our books. You know, we all started out reading a paper book. Most of us went to like Kindle, iPad, or iPhones, Audible, and podcasts. Like, we, in our business, when we find we get busier and busier, we have to switch it up. We have to like squeeze things in. So I've found out I listen to a lot more podcasts than I read a book. Like, reading a book just doesn't do it for me when I'm constantly on the go, but I can do personal development podcasts up the wazoo because I can do them while I'm running with the dogs. I can do them driving. I can do them with the kids, dishes, cooking, all the things. And so we've had to make those changes, and that's where I brought that to me instead of me going to sit down to try to read a book. But if it works, it works. It may just be a simple, like, swap. Maybe just, swap things out. That's all you have to do. We're going to try it because I tried it this way last year. It did not work. So we're trying something new. Where am I at my notes? Where do you guys keep your vision boards? Like, did it work for you to have them where you put them last year, or are you going to be changing them? That's one of my thoughts. Like, this year with doing the vision board, I didn't get all crazy last year. I admit it's actually right behind me if I can show it to you. Wrong way. Not much was on there. First time doing it in the bathroom. Yeah, I have like notes on my bathroom mirror so much that for a while you couldn't see your reflection in the mirror because I'd listen to podcasts and then write them down like on my mirror with dry erase marker. And then the mirror was full. We had to clean it. But like I didn't put a lot on last year, and this year I'm adding to it because I have bigger dreams and goals and I know how to do a vision board, but I didn't utilize it because of where I put it. Now, like some people wanted it in a planner or on their phone. I spend most of my time, like I said, in my kitchen and stuff down there. So it's going where I can see it right on my pantry door, right there. And if that doesn't work, above the oven because I stand there and cook, or to my kitchen window where I do dishes. Like I'm putting it right in my face this year because with it hidden here away in the bedroom, I didn't look at that. I did not utilize it the way it should be there to like push you and excite you with things. So the other one was where you work your business and you get up to go do something. Is it easy to get back into your routine? Is it easy to get up, grab something and sit back down and work? Or is it hard because you left an entire room setting, gone to a new room, and then had to come back and get all back into focus? I have a squirrel brain. It does not work, I've learned, for me to leave a room and then have to come back. Like my squirrel does not do that. It just jumps to that room, gets sidetracked, and then forgets to come back. Like we leave the county by the end of it. Like that's how bad some days it is. So I know that I had to make a big change. And then like another idea is I have on my fridge, and this is the other one idea that prompted me after Monday night's call, you guys, was I do meal planning and prepping. I've been doing it for a few years. So I got a little board for my fridge for meal planning. So now I prep all my food. Where is it? Right on my fridge. So I never have to struggle making meals. I'm going, why don't I do that with everything else then? Everything else that's in my kitchen that's already up flows so nice. And I tucked my Lavelle business away in our bedroom, and then it gets put on the back burner, and I forget about it. So front and center is what we're going for this year. And that is pretty much it. Make your business to where it's convenient for you to get up, do something, and come back to. Thanks, guys. This was like 4 pages of notes squeezed into a very short time because I wanted us to make sure we could get on tonight's call at 7 and still have time to eat. Any questions? Go ahead, unmute yourselves. We good? There you go.
I don't have any questions, but Jess, thank you so much for sharing. Like, such a good goal.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm excited to show you when I get it all set up. A little clip of how I'm going to rearrange my kitchen.
Who's to say that you can't have plants still, even if they're fake?
Fake ones. Yeah, I'm going for fake because the lady who lived in our house before too was like, plants don't live. And I'm like, oh, aloe vera plant, they live through anything. No. They don't. Yeah, Taylor's grandpa gave it to me and he kept it alive for like 5 years and gives it to me and it died within like 2 months. Yeah. I know. So yeah.
Right, Jess.
You're welcome. I hope it helps. Give everybody kind of a new idea on what we can do. All right, well, then let's hop off and I'll see you all at 7, right? Okay, bye.